then let us go on. I would like to present now Pascal Heimann and Axel Stiefel, because they also had a collaboration. Let me first introduce you to Pascal. Pascal Heimann. He's a textile designer, and his project in the TaDA residency tried to come up with a different methodology or different techniques to work with textile, and he did that also together with somebody special who will also be part of the discussion later on. But let me first give you some insights or information about his background. So Pascal studied design process or process design at Hyperwerk in Basel. For those who don't know this very special studies, check it out. So it's all about process design in different fields of the design. Focusing on what is a design process. But he already had quite a deep interest in fashion and textile, and this led him to go on with studying textile design at HF Textile Design in Basel. And then he kind of had very important jobs or places to work, notably at Jakob Schläpfer. And you also worked later on in in the last silk weaving mill in Switzerland at Minotex in Herzogenbuchsee. So silk was something you really got into it, and then you were also a member of the famous Institute for Textile Research, and he, last but not least, also designs under his own label Pascal Heimann. So quite a broad platforms you have already used. You will just later on tell us a little bit more about your project at TaDA. But let me first also introduce Axel Stiefel. Maybe you show yourself. So Axel Stiefel is a French-Swiss artist living in Geneva. So she's very much into developing and researching what kind of stories, but also metaphors are the background of all sort of textiles and artistic works of art. She is embedded in various organizations, so her artistic work integrates and interacts with different disciplines. We will hear of that later on. And these working in between the fields or the disciplines, I guess, or in my point of view, makes the strength of your work. And I'm super happy to have you here. And but let us start now with Pascal's presentation, and then you will join us on the stage and we will hear from your side. So Pascal, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much for this nice introduction. Hello everyone. I was told it's best if I speak English. Ich kann auch Schweizerdeutsch. So Julie is going to help me because I thought it would be really nice for you to touch things. I have textiles to touch, they can be examined. My project is at some parts very technical, so I can't dive into everything, but maybe with questions and also afterwards you're happy, you can come to me and ask me. But so we will go kind of sprinting through this. So for me it's really important to also welcome Juan. We actually know each other a long time, but we developed this project not for TaDA, but it just happened to fit, and it's a program that he wrote, we developed together to translate digital images for a textile, a jacquard machine for weaving. So we have some new ways that we try to implement in this translation process. This flower here, sorry, this microphone is kind of confusing me a little. It has some examples already of that. So I was lucky to be paired with Tiska. I contacted them and I could work closely with Claudia Meile to do some testing on this program. So the whole residency was really about seeing about the practical implications of that program if it works, because we really knew only on the screen and would guess if it works. So that's it. I'm going to go through this. I had 3 rounds of testing, analyzing, adapting. So this is kind of the first round, and I thought, okay, this program can translate colors into weave differently. It can do photorealism, kind of, maybe. I think it's good if we already give this first test. So just get everything, all of this. So it's a lot. Yes. So you will see there is some things that look kind of technical. I did some testing with smooth colors, like on a printer really. I have some images of water, of naturalistic things, tried some structures. It's really this to find out the boundaries and the strength of the program. So these were the first results, is what you're holding now. And we realized that the program would excel in kind of gradient and fine colors, mixing of colors that maybe in traditional weaving translations aren't possible in that way. So now I had the question, okay, I know a bit of a technical frame. What is the input? So what kind of images am I going to use to feed into the program? And that's also maybe where I could use some inspiration from other regions of my artistic work also. So I was digitalizing 8mm and 16mm film. I was lucky to get a projector from Kunstgießerei. This dog is my dad's first dog. It's a footage from the 70s, and it obviously has this look. It's really beautiful. As a contrast, you see some 3D renders. I did a model of myself, and it's kind of glitchy, and it loosened up, so it has holes, and you see the background, the squares. So this also gave me some inspiration to play kind of with a gradient and layers, structures. After that, I started combining those 8mm and 16mm footage stills with the 3D stuff. Through some AI, and it's trying to read what's important, so it came up with some interesting things also. And lastly, just some beautiful impressions, also mistakes from footage that I digitalized, and I thought was great. So the second tests turned out like this. So you see there's a collision of structures there's kind of like different layers. You can see the string, the yarns, then a kind of small shape, and then bigger shapes, gradients, and it's colliding, and it really kind of seemed to work. So I had a direction where I wanted to go. Now I was like, what am I going to design for? I have a textile. So luckily I had Anna Kodasco. She's a tailor from Basel, a good friend of mine, and we're working on a project where we analyze old clothes on their cutting patterns that use all the fabric, so have nearly no waste. And within quite a quick time, she managed to come up with this cutting pattern on the right. You can see, and I was able. So now I knew I'm going to design for a jacket, and so this is the pattern. It's that's what I'm going to do exactly. So I, again, collected structures, patterns, images on different sizes, combined them. It's like a complete mashup, try to create depth. So split up into layers, different, and then put together as a whole like this. So it looks really kind of crazy. This then I had to feed piece by piece through the program, different settings, and then so it would actually work as a weave. It would look like this. Exactly. So this I also have. Those are maybe, yeah, have a look. It's second test material. But there was also quite a bit of color testing and adaptations. I have even more here. You can look at it later. What I find quite amazing is that Anna actually made a jacket. It's here and it's working. It's reversible. I put it on. So this is the first prototype we came up with. And so this is where it went so far, and we will see what happens next. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Also here, short Q&A. If you have questions relating to what we have just seen, then please just raise your hand and I'll give you the mic. So yeah.
Actually, I did not quite understand what the innovation is with the program you have written and the pattern in jacquard weaving. Could you have done, or can you explain maybe what's the key difference?
The key difference is that we are using random parameters instead of the classic 5x5 atlas or 8x8 atlas, where you have 7 different kinds of hues or Helligkeitsstufen. You can have now, if you have a thing with 8 on 8, you can have 64 Helligkeitsstufen. Theoretically, of course, the weave still has to hold together. But the key factor is we're able to create many more shades. It's kind of a sablé. But if you know about sablés, you would have to do it by hand. It's really difficult to have it not starting to make other things than just the hue. So I guess that's really the strength. We can generate gradients that weren't really possible, or were possible, or are possible, but you have to do it by hand. It's very complex. So this is one thing, yes.
Maybe can I add something to that?
Yes, please.
Another thing that is very, I think, special about the program that we wrote is that it creates every time unique patterns. It translates so if you feed in the same image 10 times, every pattern will be completely different because it is really randomized. So you have some natural. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. But in principle, I don't know if you work with 8x8 squares. No 8x8 square will be the same. Yeah. And if you have, you can repeat.
What is quite amazing is that we weren't sure if the fabric will hold together well because it's so random. And with Claudia, we looked at it and we were really like, okay, this works. It holds together because the randomness is so random, or is regularly random, maybe, I don't know. So it works. This was quite nice. We didn't really know.
First of all, thank you. I also have a question regarding the first question. So you can create new Bindung, basically, right?
Yes,
or binds?
yes.
What it
well,
calls?
new, yeah, just...
Okay, new weaves or bindings, yeah. That's quite
in a way,
amazing,
yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, then I understood. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I didn't go into for the people that are more interested in this technical side, I'm happy to dive into it a little afterwards or something.
So, but relating to that, and not a technical question, but why did you wanted to expand the technology? What was driving you in just expanding this existing technical solutions, which we know for quite a long time with jacquard?
This is a much more difficult question than I thought this would be. My drive is curiosity. I didn't really know what's going to happen. Also with Juan, we discussed different concepts. We were also discussing actually a whole thing about repeats. If you have pictures and you put the next picture, how can you handle this border? And you actually wrote the program, but the AI was evolving so rapidly that we now can do it with Photoshop quite fast too. So the initial thing is curiosity, and then this kind of we look what's around and I adapt it to be able to use in weave.
Yes.
So
and you're able also to translate it into textile, which is quite astonishing.
That was the goal, of course,
yeah.
to use it in textiles. So Juan, yes, you say.
Yeah, I think it was very nice. It was a dialogue. I don't come from a textile background. Like, I'm a physicist and I do computer science, and we could mix these worlds together, and with curiosity as kind of a driving force, we were just having this dialogue about how the structures, the mathematical structures are in the textiles, and what could you do with it, how can you expand it, and then we just experimented and experimented until we were kind of happy.
Which is also nice if you can do it in the framework of a residency, because then you can really test it. Okay, thank you so much. Please stay on the stage, and we will welcome Axel as our next resident. So tell us, what were your projects all about?
Here, thank you.
Thank you. Yes. There were so many people involved. I didn't kind of the immediate involvement, but there's obviously a lot more people to thank.